the vision, let the vision, let the vision become vibration. It's manifestation. Yo. Eyes closed, but I see it clearer. Future speaking louder than the mirror. They printing dollars, I'm minting truth. Fiat's fading, I'm the living proof. Stacking vision in my vocal booth. Broadcast gold, I don't need a boost. Let the vision, let the vision, let the vision become vibration. It's manifestation. It's manifestation. I feel the shift, I hold the station. Let the vision become vibration. Steady breath, got no need to chase. I align, let the world rotate. Truth in motion, I don't complicate. I just show up, calibrate, create. Stacking while the system shakes. Legacy moves, no pump, no fake. Pulse on point, I don't fold or flinch. Vision locked in, I build, not break. Let the vision, let the vision, let the vision become vibration. It's manifestation. It's manifestation. I feel the shift, I hold the station. Let the vision become vibration. Steady breath, got no need to chase. I align, let the world rotate. Truth in motion, I don't complicate. I just show up, calibrate, create. Stacking while the system shakes. Legacy moves, no pump, no fake. Pulse on point, I don't fold or flinch. Vision locked in, I build, not break. Let the vision, let the vision, let the vision become vibration. It's manifestation. It's manifestation. I feel the shift, I hold the station. Let the vision become vibration.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back. Let the vision become vibration. You gotta love that. You guys vibing on this? Like I am? How about this guitar solo? I gotta learn this. I mean, damn, that's good.
Let the vision, let the vision, let the vision become vibration. It's manifestation. It's manifestation.
What does that mean to you guys?
Hold the station. Let the vision become vibration.
Can you try different genres of music? Absolutely. Any. Hey, BB, how you doing? Welcome, you guys. This is Rewire Live. I'm Adam Bones. We're going to get down tonight, down and dirty on some mindset, some recalibration of your energy, and bringing more order to your mind so you can operate in harmony with the natural laws. That's what they mean by effortless action, by the way. It's such a misnomer because people don't understand. What does that mean? Effortless action. What is that? They seem like opposites or something. But the truth is, when you stop resisting your true path, your calling, your purpose, and learn how to get out of your own way and learn how to shift your paradigm, that's essentially what you do. You know, with hypnosis, you bring someone into trance and you suggest things to them when they're in trance. Better said, you help them suggest to themselves. Every suggestion comes through your filter, by the way. All inputs come through your filter, and that's important. Jim Rohn said, every day stand guard at the door to your mind, right? And Bob Proctor would teach that your conscious thinking faculty is the outer guard, or basically the guard to what goes into the subconscious mind. So, we manifest and create our own reality, says Amanda. Absolutely. Exactly. And we're always manifesting, right? That's the important realization there is, wait, I'm already creating. And so how? am I creating? You know, is it just based on my sheer will? Is it based on, what I hope is going to happen? Is it based on what I think is going to happen? Is it based on what I know is going to happen? Or is it none of that? Is it out of my hands completely? These are questions that I'm sure you've all asked yourself, maybe not directly or consciously. Many of you have, but we do it unconsciously. And it really directs and guides the way we show up in our behavior. What am I talking about? I'm talking about how much you believe in your creative power versus how much do you believe that you're helpless. And we want to be definitive about this. We want to answer in the affirmative, yes, I do create my own reality. I am the source of everything in my life. Yeah. That begins the journey of stepping into the full power you and recognizing where you've been leaking energy, where you've been carrying dissonance and resistance. You could say from old patterns that are still sticking around, but if we're being more accurate, it's the places where you slip into unconscious behavior. And so we want to take a little bit of an inventory and just look at our lives, zoom out. How much am I living unconscious? If you're in the Boost Mindset Academy, not much unconscious living happening, because every week, 3 times a week, we remind you that you're here to bring order to your mind and activate your highest path and walk it. Okay. Now listen, it occurred to me last week that, sometimes I say, be your best self or walk your highest path. It occurred to me that could be somewhat detrimental if you don't, if we're not keyed into the nuances here. Because it doesn't have to, that doesn't mean that you're always operating at like peak levels. It doesn't mean that, you got to go for something that's way outside of the, you don't have to put pressure on yourself in this way. In fact, we want to learn how to remove that, still have a sense of urgency, but that sense of urgency comes from somewhere else. It comes from an activation energy. Okay. And we're moving from that old model where it's pain and fear and sacrifice catalyzing us forward into, wait a second, I know that I have a deeper purpose. I know that I'm connected with the divine, and that kind of excites me. That kind of makes me want to go do some things and bring more order to my behavior and to my thinking and to how I show up. It is pretty cool stuff. We're pretty freaking conscious in the Boost Mindset Academy. Yes, we are. And it's still a challenge. Just think though, how many people aren't working on their energetic hygiene on a weekly basis, aren't learning how to let go of things and heal and process emotion. And so, we take that work pretty seriously. I consider it a dojo where we go in and we train for life. Sometimes I feel conscious enough for a few people. I hear that. Yvette said I got healed off TikTok yesterday. What do you mean, Yvette? A video was so influential that it healed you? And you got off of TikTok as a result? Is that what you mean? Hey, Caroline Rex, thanks for the follow. Coraline, excuse me. That's a cool name. Yvette Adkins, that's pretty profound. Yeah, let's find out what Yvette Adkins really means, though. And so, yes, we must answer in the affirmative. I do create my own reality. I am the source of everything in my world. And that being said, that being true, that being a foregone conclusion, I choose how I show up in the world, and I choose what I manifest. And so much of this is about narrative control. You ever hear that term, narrative control? Yeah, a lot of the work that I do is actually helping people reshape their narrative and rewrite their story. It's interesting, and it takes some time for your body and your nervous system to believe a new story. In fact, in the beginning, you might need to install the belief that you can change your beliefs. Because in the beginning, I didn't believe that. I didn't know if I believed it, I started to realize that I had beliefs that I didn't know I had, and that they were there for some time, and started trying to change it. But I wasn't ready to just go change those beliefs yet, because I didn't really believe in my manifestational power at the time. And I was still operating on a lot of those old beliefs. They're very insidious, and you don't know when you're under the spell of a belief. Yvette says, let go of issues. The brain master talked to me. The brain master talked to me and God healed me? Wow, Yvette, that is pretty profound. Processing grief, says Chels, but understanding where I'm clinging to fear or allowing myself to align with love. And it is a process. And your body's going through changes as well. And so we need to have patience and grace for the healing process. Am I right, Chels? Matt, how you doing? Says, been learning that lately for sure. You and me both, brother, and the rest of us. Yes, it's a constant state of work, but it becomes habit after time. Absolutely, Amanda. That's exactly right. The subconscious mind is the habit mind. So you got to think in terms of habits if you really want to heal. You can't heal without new habits. I don't know if I've ever heard anyone else say that. And I don't know if I've ever said it that cleanly before, but I think it's true. You can't heal without new habits. Okay? And I'll take that a step further. Your healing actually involves your purpose, walking your purpose. I think that almost always necessarily implies service consciousness, and that is understanding and finding out who you're here to serve of the 8 billion people, or or the animals, or nature, or the earth, or whatever, gods, deities. What are you here to devote your life to? I think finding that is part of your healing journey, and committing to that is part of your healing journey. And that's going to take some courage and some faith, and for you to go against the grain to a certain degree. So, healing to me is not just healing wounds. It actually involves a metamorphosis. Yeah. It involves a restructuring, a rising again, so to speak, a comeback. So, are you writing your comeback story? Because that's what we do here, baby. In the Boost Mindset Academy, we write our comeback story. Okay, I'm in mine right now. Matt says, is every human here to serve? Or, I believe this. Yes, Matt, we are. I believe we are here to serve. And I think it's a great question. And I think that there are nuances to this. Thanks for the follow, Figure Collector. Right, Amanda? You feel me on this? Amanda feels me on this, no doubt. It's service consciousness, Matt. Service consciousness, I want you to think of like consciousness or the awareness of how service works, right? Because what we're talking about is getting in harmony with the natural laws. Which one are we talking about? We're talking about the flow of energy to and through you. Again, you're a creation machine. You're manifesting. Remember this. You're receiving a signal and you're broadcasting a signal. So just to recognize that is to start to understand the laws of nature. See, we can't imagine ourselves out of the three-dimensional reality. We can't imagine ourselves out of what's real. As a mindset coach, this is a fine line between, toxic delusion and delulu is the solulu, as they say, right? Toxic delusion, though, is sort of airy fairy. Okay, people who talk a lot about 5D and, you know, reality transurfing or remote viewing or out of body existential stuff. Look, maybe you're having these amazing experiences. Maybe you're under the influence of something. I don't know. But that has nothing to do with the healing process. The healing process is integrating the knowledge, the deeper knowledge of the natural laws into this physical body and learning how to put powerful, positive energy back into the field so you make a recursive, powerful loop of understanding and behavior. See, too many spiritual people go far out on the limb and they push away and they say the matrix is toxic. Capitalism is toxic. The United States is toxic. Everything is toxic because I'm so spiritual now. That ain't it. Okay? That ain't it. So, yes, you can use your imagination. But does that mean that I'm going to, live in the past? Am I going to worry about the future? No, we learn presence. And when you get presence, it becomes a portal for more power. Raise the frequency. Back to service consciousness. It's that recognition that that energy is flowing to and through your receiving signal, your broadcasting signal. Right? And you guys vibing with me right now? Matt says, wow. Yvette says she was electric shocked by the power pole November 22nd last year. That is profound. And wow. I love that theme. I've been thinking of doing lives on comeback stories. Don't think about it. Do it. Just like Yoda says, do or do not do. There is no try. Walking on sidewalks sounds dangerous to you now, Yvette. Crazy. Even movies and music can keep you at a low vibrational frequency, says Brooke. Right, because it's energy. And there's energy all around us, in us. We live in a cosmic soup of energy. Just because you can't see it, hear it, touch it, taste it, or smell it doesn't mean it's not there. We know it's there. Chell says things have been confusing. I can feel one way, one day, and just lost the next, but still doing the blank with it helps. Oh, the work, says Chels. Do you mean the work we do in the academy, or do you mean your job? You mean meditation? Uh-huh. Okay. Dang, Yvette. Brooke, thank you for the follow. Yvette says 7,200 volts. Lucky to be alive is an understatement. Holy cow. Brooke says 100. I love getting 100s, by the way. I really believe that Earth is a school for us, for the next plane. That's one way to look at it, Brooke. Like, we are certainly getting the lessons coming back around on repeat. And that's the point. Okay? This very simple understanding of mind that I just described, and I'll say it again because I want you to fix this image in your mind. Picture the human being with a toroidal energy field. Has everyone seen this, by the way? Because let me bring up a visual. Visuals always help, don't they? Here, let's make this easy. Human energy field, toroid. Whoa, yeah, here we go. First one. Actually, I like this one better. So, check it out. This is the image that I had in my mind that I want you to have in your mind. Hang on. There we go. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about, you guys. That's there. And it focalizes in your heart center. Isn't that cool? Isn't it? So cool. Right? And so that, you guys, That is mind. And it's recursive. This is why repetition is so important. First of all, it took repetition or recursion, kind of the same word, that is that cyclical cycling energy, to first program your code. See, you here are a massive energy vibrating at an incredibly high rate of speed, and you operate on instructions. Those instructions were written right here in your heart center as a kid. And they've been reinforced every day since, unless you have become conscious enough to deliberately start installing new patterns into this recursive code. Did you follow that? So unless you've done deliberate work on reclaiming your sovereignty, you're still operating on the same programming you inherited. That might be okay with you. But if you thought about it for a little while and you asked yourself, wait, who am I really and what am I here to do? You would come to the inevitable conclusion that you're here to break the cycle and become conscious and aware and awake and choose. Ooh. Anybody else get a shudder? Ooh. Reprogram, says Amanda. Yes. We are cycle breakers. Exactly. Exactly. You are the one, just like Neo. You wake up, you realize who you are, okay? But that's only half of the equation. See, me, I'm a mindset guy, but I'm a systems guy. Structures, systems, okay? Because the other half of the equation, after you wake up and find out who you are, is to now demonstrate it, to translate it, and demonstrate it. We are helping future generations, says Amanda, doing the personal work. Right. Service consciousness. By helping yourself right now come into alignment with the truth, you are helping. You're helping everyone in the present and along, maybe in the past and the future. Literally, because, past and future, they don't really exist. Here we can talk truth here on this channel, guys. We can talk truth. The truth is, there is no past. There is no future. You've lived in the present moment your entire life. And by the way, it's not a moment, because a moment is in time. Presence is presence. It's eternal. Okay, what does that mean? Like my brain kind of short circuits when I think about that, right? So I have to surrender. Anybody else have short circuiting in the brain going on these days? That's a call to surrender. To let go, to let it be both or neither. Okay, I call that and consciousness. But waking up is half of the equation. Demonstration is the other half, and that's where people are getting frozen. People are waking up and being like, wait a second. Coach over here is telling me I need to set goals, but I'm still flabbergasted that society's a sham and I'm not just a robot in a meat suit, right? I'm actually an interdimensional, eternal being, right? It's fascinating and it's shocking when you actually sink into the realization of it. And that's where I want you to go, because that's how you open the subconscious mind and actually start installing new patterns. You might think, wait, that's a little fringe. I'm not sure if I want to go that deep. I don't want to let go of everything. And those are the thoughts that the mind goes through as we come to realizations of who we are and who we're not, and then decide to take on, new energies and new beliefs. It's unsettling at first. It really is. So I understand the nuances of the transformational journey, but I will also say that it's absolutely fascinating and invigorating at many points in the juncture as well. You kind of never know what you're going to get, kind of like Forrest Gump said, right? Forrest Gump said it best. You know what I'm saying? Damn, of course. When it gets interesting, my phone is about to die. LOL, I need to go get my charger. Brooke, run! Get your charger. But like I said, energy just transforms. It never dies. That's correct. That's a natural law, Brooke. The law of perpetual transmutation of energy. I love that. And so we speak in terms of the natural laws here. That's what we do. Being able to transmute the programs and lock into the truth is amazing. Love that, Chels. Yeah. Now that transmutation, that's a good word because that speaks to energy in and then processed through the lens of your truth and then broadcast back out. But the state of humanity is largely hypnosis, okay, where the information is going in and a lot of it's just getting stuck in here and we're rendered paralyzed. The nervous system is shocked. It's overwhelmed. It's catatonic almost. A lot of people are catatonic right now. I got to say, I work with a lot of people, and you wouldn't believe how many people are in a state of catatonia where they can't do anything, and they don't know why. Okay, it's a mass collapse that's happening. It's a paradigm shift. Okay, and I feel that my purpose is to help be the bridge and teach others to be the bridge in this time, from one state of consciousness of humanity to another. We're literally realizing we're beings of light and we're reclaiming our sovereignty. Sounds pretty important to me, doesn't it? To you? Embrace the transformation, says Amanda. Yes, that is wise. That is prudent, I would have to say. Would just like to know who I am and my next journey. Otherwise, it's basically lights out if I'm not aware. Good point. Filtered through love. I love that, Chels. Yeah. Nikki Wilson, realtor. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Coraline Rex, stagnant and disconnected. Is that what you're feeling right now, Coraline? Stagnant and disconnected? Because I'm glad that you said disconnected, because that is why you're stagnant. And disconnection is, we don't need to go any deeper. That is the deepest source cause of stagnancy and of dissonant energy. Split energy is painful. What is split energy or dissonant energy? It's exactly what Coraline just said. Disconnection. That is the source of suffering. Do you guys all realize this? For every single human being. And we talked about this last week. It's ironic that we live in discrete bodies, separate from each other. You know, I don't like it when spiritual teachers are just like, everything is one. Because it's like, we can feel that on an inherent level, but there's no denying that in the physical world we're separate. I feel my feelings, I have my opinions, my beliefs, you know, you have yours and you feel yours. So I think it's ironic that we're in this incarnation in separate, discrete bodies, because it could, you know, you can make a case that that's inherently lonely. But I want you to think about the alternative. Like, what if we didn't have separate, discrete bodies and we were all one, literally, and there was no separation, there was no differentiation? Well, there would be no need for compassion. There would be no need for empathy. There would be no need to reach out and hug someone, to care for someone, to feel someone's pain, to feel someone's strength, to encourage. Do you see the beautiful range of emotion and experience we get to have as human beings because we're in this physical incarnation as seemingly separate beings? So I don't think we should just skip to oneness. I think we should honor the differentiation. I think we should honor that. I think we should honor the way that this is set up and say, wow, like sometimes I feel so alone. And sometimes like there's no one there to comfort me. And I just feel alone and lost. And then it passes. And then I can reflect on it and I actually feel stronger as a result of it, you know, and I know myself deeper. And it makes this next moment actually that much richer when I do get to spend time with people and I can look at them with reverence this time. Everything sort of just starts to make sense. It fits. Does that make sense, you guys? But I don't like feeling I'm one with some of these people in this world, says Brooke. Ain't that the truth? I hear you there. I hear you there. Coraline says mind, body, soul, all separate. Split energy for sure. Okay. Well, listen, we got to get that energy back into a harmonious frequency of vibration. How do you do that? Well, you first got to start asking better questions. Okay? Because you're going to get an answer to the questions that you ask. That's kind of profound. You're going to get an answer to the questions you ask. So what should your logical next response be to that? Answer me in the chat, please. If you know you're going to get an answer to the question you ask, what's the logical next step to do? What makes sense? Matt says, be ready. Maria says, action. Keep going. That's not exactly what I'm looking for. Bluebird says, take action. Brooke's back. Oh, no, Brooke's going to get her charger. To ask, says Coraline. Maria says, change. Listen, you guys, it wasn't really a trick question. If we know we're going to get an answer to the question we ask, then it would make sense to ask better questions. I would ask, why am I so confident? Why do things just come easily for me? Why does it seem like everything's working out for me? Why do I love the world so much? Why do I love life? Why am I so excited to get back to work on my passion project this morning? Why does getting up early in the morning and getting a walk or a workout in make me feel so good and refreshed? Do you see? Do you see what I'm doing? This is not just some trivial thing. This is actually the first pillar of the sync method. Start asking better questions. Maria sees. Brooke's like, I wish I knew. You're putting good vibes into the universe. Thank you. You get what you put in. Yeah. Yeah, but you know the interesting thing about that, Brooke? Like, don't be like, oh, I'm going to do good because I'm going to get good. Because that's not exactly how it works, right? It's actually, virtue is its own reward. As cliche as that sounds, when you do something good, you immediately feel it. You don't wait for the reward to come later. You immediately feel it. You immediately feel like you're the deliberate creator of your life. You put good out and you feel good, right? It's like people think that like you want love. You think you want it from someone else? You want to be the one to give it. You want to be loving. Why? Because it feels freaking good being loving. The virtue is its own reward. Do you see what I'm saying? So don't fall into the trap of like, oh, I'm going to put good out because it's going to come back to me. That's the wrong way to look at it, right? It's like, no, I'm going to put good out because I am the, yes, Chels, because I am the good. That's when it truly hits and you're like, damn, now I get it. It's for its own reward. Raising my vibe, being powerful, being positive, being who I want to be, doing what I want to do. It's like we're waiting for permission, or we're waiting for the perfect moment, or we're waiting for all conditions to be lined up, or we're just waiting, you know? But it's about being the thing we want. Isn't that interesting? Brooke says do it just because it's the right thing to do. I want to be careful with that because that's the way my father taught me. He said, do the right thing. Somehow his idea of the right thing was always the one we had to conform to, though. And right and wrong, I don't believe is really actually part of this equation. No, I think this is more about what you know to be true. If you know you're good, there's no right and wrong. You don't hurt people if you know you're good. If you think you might be bad, okay, then you're probably going to express that upon the world. And that is also part of it. That's also part of it. People are spraying their pain around. It's happening. It's happening all the damn time. People are spraying their pain around. They don't know they're doing it. Some people do, but most people don't know they're doing it. They think that it's just the way it is, or it's the environment or the economy or the neighbors, right? Or the the hereditary genetic disease that they're carrying, or their, unlucky hand that they got in life. Like, no, no, no. You want to spread good because your cup is overflowing, because you are giving it to yourself. That's it right there. Exactly, Chels. And you're not going to feel like your cup is overflowing until you are routinely giving it to yourself. So I like that you said that, Chels. You hit the nail on the head with that. I like the way you put that, because you're giving it to yourself. I think that's a major key. Not the waiting place. Yes, Matt, exactly. I didn't mean it like that, says Brooke. No, I know, Brooke. I just, it's good to explore all these ideas. So I know you guys are very bright and you guys are on the leading edge. It's like giving a Christmas gift, except expecting one back, right? And it's not supposed to be how it is. Precisely. How about this? How about when, the classic boyfriend or girlfriend says to the other one, I love you. And there's that awkward silence. It's like, why is there awkward silence? You know what I mean? It's like, are you fishing? And so is that really an expression of love, what that you just gave me? You know what I mean? Let's not use the word in vain. That's what I say, right? You know what I'm saying? Fishing. You know what I'm saying, Matt? Are you fishing? It's like, you got to be able to say I love you and mean it and not need to hear anything back. Right? Like people that mumble complaints continuously. Yeah. I mean, what's the extreme case of that? It's the guy on the street that's actually screaming at the world. He's swearing. You catch eyes with him and he's going to threaten to fight you. You know what I mean? It's like, there's a lot of them up here in Northern California on the coast here. It's very sad, but it's the ultimate expression of not having any order in the mind, not claiming your sovereignty, not claiming your sovereign power. It's sad. The people that say I love you, that don't say it all the time, is when they really mean it. It's a good point, Brooke. It means you know how much they really love you because you hear it seldomly, so it's more meaningful. Hey, Samina. Namaste. Namaste, Samina. So, that was a rant and a half. That was energetic. What questions or issues do we have coming up? Because what we really want to talk about is how to translate, to finish the transmutation process, is to translate your wisdom into expression. It comes down to expression. That's why I think it's kind of ironic that there's the creator economy. The creator economy is a manifestation of the shift in consciousness, the decentralization of power, going out to individuals. How do I move through grief instead of being stuck in it? Yes, first of all, we need to take a deep breath. Empty out what's in the belly completely. And take in a fresh breath of some prana. And feel your belly and feel your chest fill up all the way. And hold it. Keep going. And release. One more time. So I would highly recommend doing somatic breathing like this to get emotions moving. Emotions are oftentimes stuck below the skin, and that's not the worst place for them to be, because they could also be lodged in an organ. They could be in a region of the body. They can be in, the knees, the elbows, the joints, and pain can move around. But I highly recommend breathing. And we don't need to get fancy with this. All I'm really talking about is slow, deep breaths. Really deep, really slow, filling all the way up, and then holding your breath at the top. And I think it really does help to have one hand on the belly here, just below the navel, and one on the heart center, and to feel yourself expand and slow down and be with the visceral feelings in the body. And you were the one who mentioned it earlier, and you said something about giving the love to yourself. And this is where it really matters. This is where the rubber meets the road. It's a matter of being still enough to take 3 to 5 deep breaths and really feel. And if you do these deep breaths and you hold your breath on the top and you hold your breath on the bottom and you place your hands over those powerful energy centers and you get really, really in tune and in touch with what's going on right here, right now, what do? You restore wholeness. You restore fidelity in the recursive energy cycle. How does that happen? It happens when all your attention goes to it, because where attention goes, energy flows. And do you know why we get stuck in grief or get stuck in negative emotion? Because our attention is going to the past, or worrying about the future, or it's holding on to some unprocessed emotion. Maybe there's some guilt. Maybe there's some fear. Maybe there's some sadness. Maybe there's some anger. Okay? Does that mean any of those things are bad? Absolutely not. Those emotions are intense and they're goddamn beautiful. They're so beautiful. And that's the reframe I want you to have right now, because it's true. You just can't feel that right now because you're in it, right? And you feel the visceral feelings of heat and, sometimes cold, sometimes blocked, sometimes exhausted, different feelings. And all of that contrast is there for natural processes to occur in your body on a cellular level. And so to a certain extent, this is the side of life that, isn't as glamorous, but it's like, it's time to do the healing work. It's time to do the presence. It's time to reconnect with your vital energy. Is it odd or ironic that, it's whenever we experience big time heartbreak in life that's when it matters the most for us to do the work? You could say so, but I use the analogy, I was in the Navy. In the military, they have great attitudes. Okay, they have winners or triumphant attitudes. They don't let victim mentality ever infect them. And it's evident when you go on a run with your platoon. Okay, if you're going on a run with your platoon, you run as a unit and you got hills. And what do they say when you come up to a hill? They say, take the hill. And everyone sprints up the hill. Hold on a sec. Excuse me for 1 second, you guys. Okay, I'm back. My teenage son. Take the hill. Okay, take the hill is a really awesome attitude to have. What does it mean? It means when difficulties come, you don't get weak. You don't get meek. You don't let them suck you into victim mentality. Instead, you say, take the hill. This is the time for me to go harder. This is the time for me to rev up. This is the time for me to get juiced up. And every time a challenge comes, if you can do that, can you imagine? Think of it think of it like running. Like you come up to a hill, and instead of just being like, oh God, here's another hill, I guess I'm going to do this, No, you take the hill. You just got to summon the juice. But it becomes a habit. It becomes a habit. And if you have a mantra like take the hill, it can really help. Don't stay in the foothills because it's comfortable. Climb the mountain. Right, Chels? Right. And so treat your emotional healing right now, your presence work, your sync work as sacred right now. You're in a serious reclamation. You have been, Chels, for months, years probably. And now you're going through, one of the most challenging aspects of it. But you've been doing the work, and it's time for you to have some major catharsis. Okay. So that's going to come through doing the work. It's going to come through the practice. That visceral somatic practice is what I really highly suggest. I gave you some breath work, meditation for sure. Some exercise, long walks. Yes. Yeah, because you want to get energy moving. That's how you don't get stuck. Well, you keep it moving. That's how, and you're not stuck. Okay. Everything that's happening right now is not only supposed to be here, but it's natural. And it, again, is bringing out the absolute best in you. Okay. And I would also say, in addition to all of that, in addition to the somatic work of being very kind to yourself, making sure you keep motion and movement in the mind and the body, in addition to all that, I would say, let's start to move towards your purpose. Let's start to visualize the blue flame in your heart. Let's start to re-engage and reconnect. Okay, if it's with a passion, a hobby, a profession, a group of people, could be friends, it could be nature, could be just something that you can pour your heart into, right? Because we all need something to recalibrate back to. Okay, yes, recalibrating to source is a given. Okay, that is through surrender, that is through absolute presence. And you can do that during your somatic work. And then there's also recalibration back to your blue flame. Okay. Something that you can put your energy towards. Okay, that's that service consciousness. Yes, service consciousness includes people. It includes the environment, it includes the community, it includes society, it includes humanity. Not all of everyone. Your purpose and your vision doesn't have to be so grandiose. It's global. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is it is the external mirror to the internal world. And when outer reality starts taking shape to the model of your inner world, that's when you know that you're creating deliberately. When you start seeing it with such persistence and showing up like that person with repetition, emotion, the outer world will take shape, or it'll model the inner world. That's the ultimate promise of deliberate manifestation. Matt says purpose would be nice. Purpose would be really nice. Purpose would be really, really nice. There's nothing like it, having the privilege to live your purpose, which we all get. Not everyone claims it, sadly. In this life experience, I think we're eternal, so we got all the time in the world. I just saw a really cool movie yesterday called Alien Code. Anyone ever see that? I just caught it on Prime. They hire this guy to decipher an encrypted message that comes from a satellite that they say came from the future. this top secret agency. And the guy decrypts it, and he ends up starting to see weird men. They look kind of alien-ish, and the one guy grew gargantuan, and so he doesn't know if he's tripping out. The agency tells him he now has a tumor from the radiation from the satellite, and turns out the message was from a species that existed in another dimension, and they weren't linear beings like humans, so they didn't exist in time. That's why I just thought of this, because they had this whole conversation at one point of the movie, and they brought this what do they call him, a cryptologist, the guy who decoded the message. He brought him to this place that was outside of space and time, and the guy was just freaking out. He couldn't handle it. He couldn't take it, because our brain just goes berserk if we can't see things linearly in terms of past, present, future. And so it was a very fascinating discussion between this other being, that he was just very curious about how humanity experiences time. And he said that it makes us destined to relive fear eternally, and pain maybe, or death. Yeah, anyways, this life experience of living, being born and then dying, and also knowing that you're an eternal being. It's fascinating, and I think that as we head towards the singularity, this is not going to become an esoteric subject anymore. I think it's going to become mainstream, and I think it already is. Largely, but depends on what circles you play in. It really does. The only guarantee in life, says Matt, is death, huh? But they're gonna figure out how to prolong human life, and they're gonna figure out how to regrow biology. They're gonna figure a lot of things out. You know, people could be living for thousands of years or longer. You might not need to just stay human forever. These are things to think about. It's definitely beyond the scope of what we're talking about tonight. I think in our lifetimes, though, you can expect to see a lot of change. And the question you got to ask yourself is, what do I need to do? How do I adapt? How do I continue to thrive in the world that's changing? Right? How do I act and operate as a sovereign? And that is my life's purpose, is to help be the bridge, right? Help people develop the subconscious program, the mindset, and the systems to operate as a sovereign operator. Yeah, all those questions. Would you want to live that long? Asked Chels. Not in my current paradigm, no. To me, I'm not afraid of death, because to me, I believe that we reemerge into non-physical, and we cease to be human, but we don't cease to be. But living forever actually frightens me, that humans may crack that code and prevent death. And then it's like, wait, what did we just do? Did we just condemn ourselves to like living in prison for eternity by never dying? I almost see death as like the final liberation, So, though I don't want to live forever, but I also, I'm asking questions, Chels, about how much I'm willing to evolve, because I do get the sense that we're all going to be faced with a question in the near future, all of us. To merge or not to merge. And I think about that. And I think that if I did merge, then I would see life and death differently. To merge or not to merge. I think we're all going to be faced with that question in our lifetime. I've been thinking about the singularity for some time. Coraline says merge. Yeah. How much do you know about the technological singularity? Yeah, I know. I've been thinking deep, you guys, for many, many moons, deeper than most. And I've had to sort of back off from that and come back to the surface a little bit because I've gone a little too deep at times. It makes this time more beautiful and meaningful, says Chels. Yeah, I feel that. I totally feel that. So I'm talking about merging with AI. We call it AI right now, but we're approaching artificial general intelligence and then super intelligence, ASI. And what I'm doing right now, stay with me for a moment, you guys. Okay, remember I told you I see myself as the bridge between two states of consciousness? What I'm building right now is an operating system that leverages what we call AI right now. It leverages AI as a symbiotic partner with you to augment your intelligence. I call that augmented intelligence, AI also, but it's a symbiosis between AI and human beings. I believe that's what's happening. Okay, I believe that we're going to be faced with the question of to merge or not to merge with AI. I don't know what that exactly that's going to look like. I mean, they already have brain chips, the Neuralink created by Elon Musk. I definitely, at this point in time, feel still revolted by the idea of putting a chip in my brain. But it totally doesn't seem beyond the realm of possible or even unthinkable that people will have chips in their brain, in 10 years on a pretty big scale. Because I think that people are going to like the benefits and the perks. Just like with this smartphone. At first I was like, I don't want my information in there. I don't want them to know where I am. How many people were like that? Right? And now it's like it tracks your every move. And you kind of like that because, you can remember exactly where you were or, how long you were there or, there's just so many conveniences to it knowing everything about you. And now with AI, it's the mirror to your own consciousness. And so, yes, people have started to give up their information to the technology for the conveniences that it provides. And it's more than convenience now. It's augmented intelligence. It's giving you more power. It's giving you way more information at your fingertips. But then I don't know about you guys. Has anybody else hit overwhelm with too much information from AI yet? But then there's another phase where, okay, AI, you need to help me implement this information, not just have a bunch of information. We need to think in terms of results, structures, schedules, right? And that's what I'm building. It's called SOS. It's the Sovereign Operating System. And its intention is to help you simplify and structure your life, extract your gift, and deploy it to the world. Help you heal through recursive reclaiming of your own power, which includes extraction, integration, tracking, and broadcasting in this system, in the operating system. I mean, it's like, I need SOS today. Everyone I tell, they're like, sign me up. So I'm doing this preemptively before I decide whether or not I'm going to merge with the machine. Right now I am working with it in symbiosis. An augmented intelligence is pretty cool, by the way. Anybody can do this. Anybody can go on an exploratory sort of deep dive with ChatGPT to try to work through all the unknowns to get to a system that works for you. And it's a challenge, I'll give you that, but it's definitely doable. And that's what I've been working on. It's a series of protocols that tells the agent how to respond to you. And and it learns from you and you grow together. And to the extent that you can get your resistance out of the way and collaborate with AI, well, I call that CGI, or Collaborative Genius Index. It's a new term that I coined that refers to the degree to which you are in collaborative harmony with AI. Collaborative Genius Index, CGI, measures how much, innovation you're creating. And it's augmented intelligence, so you should be at a high CGI and augmented intelligence, and therefore more powerful in terms of creating systems and structures that benefit you and benefit other people. So we're having fun. Chat has been helpful, but that sounds tremendous. Yeah, and we're all on our own journey with AI, so I'm always curious to hear about how you guys are using it as well. Yeah, up with the codex. Up with the codex already. Up with the codex. I tell you what, I'll give you a glimpse of the codex, but I ain't gonna talk about the compendium. Don't bug me about the compendium, okay? The compendium, that's the reserve. That's the reserve stash, all right? That's the private reserve. Let the vision become vibration. Is it that time, Amanda? Actually, it is. It is that time, you guys. I'm going to play us out with some music. Let me know what else is coming up for you, though. You guys had a good time tonight. I appreciate a follow. Tell someone else about Rewire Live. You know what we do here? We talk about reclaiming our sovereignty, and we learn how to actually put it to work in our life. So if you ever need practical help with this, okay, I do run a program called Escape Velocity, which is a one-on-one private mentorship for 3 months. And basically, you learn how to get the resistance out of the way and install the new operating system in your life so that you can hit that stride in your trajectory instead of doubting and waiting and letting fear control you. I also run a community called the Boost Mindset Academy. Many of you guys are already in it. We do amazing work in there, and I am in process of revamping our offering right now. You guys can look in the classroom. You'll see there's some fancy updates in there, and there's some beautiful things to come. Okay, I have some new breath works dropping very soon. I have a meditation course I'm going to be dropping in there any day now. Okay, love my boosties, says Chels. Doing the Fearless Creator series again. Started today with Desire and reworking them one by one. Wow, Chels, good for you. Good for you, because that is incredibly powerful. I had a transformation going through that over the last 12 weeks. A major transformation. Re-going through all that material, and facilitating. So I know the power of the Fearless Creator program. Okay. Amanda, you're stoked about the meditation. Good, because I am just about ready to upload that so that you guys don't have to have ads from YouTube. Bummer about YouTube. I used to like using YouTube for my content, but the ads are a pain in the butt. So yeah, we're doing all kinds of things, Matt. Join the party. Clear the resistance and take off like a rocket. If you're ready for that in your, that phase, or, you come in and you do some shadow work. Okay. We've got a bunch of courses in the classroom. Restoring wholeness is one of my favorites. The wholeness that you already are, that recursive cycle that we looked at earlier, the toroidal energy field. Well, you came into this world with it intact. Okay. Over time, when we got programmed, we started carrying dense energy and started getting stuck in the body. Okay, it's normal for people to have energy stuck in the body, but you're not meant to live your whole life that way. You're meant to let the pain sort of wake you up so you can use that conscious awareness in more productive ways. Okay, if you want to learn how to use your consciousness more productively for health, wealth, happiness, fulfillment, all that good stuff, join the Boost Mindset Academy or check me out for Escape Velocity. Where can I find the Blue Flame meditation on school? Chels, that is coming very soon. Today's Monday. I anticipate having that up by tomorrow. Okay, I've been doing a lot of work in the background, reorganizing things and bringing things together and thinking about how to structure the customer journey through the Boost Mindset Academy, so that it's while we have the weekly classes and it's like a dojo. We meditate, we breathe, we study the mind every week, and we have a group coaching session. But also, I want you to feel like you've got a track that you can be on, or a couple different tracks based on where you're at. So basically, just starting out as a goal setter, or someone who is already achieving goals, but you want to shoot higher and you need more structure, you need more accountability, you need more better time management, discipline, those types of things. We work on all those things. Okay. But I want to give people a little bit more structured journey within the academy. So that's coming. And where do I find the academy? Asked Coraline. Is there a link on your page that I can check it out? Yeah, absolutely. Let me show you that real quick, you guys. Thanks for the question. Am I still sharing this? No, I'm not. So let me do it on this instead. Do you have an escape velocity info vid on your TikTok? I don't yet, Matt, but thank you for giving me that tip, because I need that. That's on the list of things I have to do as well. But let's take a quick look at my profile so I can show you guys where to get the help you need or check out more information. Okay, so can you see my profile? Oh, you can't see. Why isn't it sharing? Oh. This is about the time of the night where technical difficulties start to flood in and things stop working. But things were literally not working. That's why I was late tonight. I have to apologize, you guys. Things were going very slow on my side. Okay, so let's do it this way then. We're going to do it the old-fashioned way. I'm just going to... Oh, that's not going to work either, is it? Maybe. Okay. This is going to be a little sketchy, but we're going to try. Okay. So here's my profile. And I'm going to click the link right here. Link tree. It takes you to my link tree. It looks like this. Oh, sorry, it's backwards. But you see that Boost Mindset Academy that's backwards right there? You click on that, okay? You can check out the website, and you can also book a clarity call with me if you want to talk to me about the best course of action based on where you're at. All right. So listen, guys, due to technical difficulties, we're going to do this another way as well tonight. I'm going to play you out. Thanks, Chels. Good to see you tonight. Okay. You got that, Coraline? Yeah, check it out. Let me know if you have any questions. Chels says 7-day trial. That's right. You get a free 7-day trial to check it out upon entrance. Isn't that nice? So you could potentially check out one of each of the 3 different meeting types. Our Mindset Mastery classes on Wednesday nights, our group coaching calls on Friday at noon, and our infamous sync sessions on Sundays where we go deep into the subconscious. And it's very powerful. Very powerful recalibration. Amanda, I'm missing Wednesdays this week. I'm torn. That's what got me to stay, says Amanda. Yeah. Are you saying you can't make the Wednesday classes because you're busy? Right now we're in integration mode because we just finished the Fearless Creator and it was pretty intense. And so we're taking a week or two to integrate all that knowledge and make plans, update our schedules, set our goals, update your sync map. Every other Wednesday is yoga, but I really feel like this is really important too. Gotcha. I can't believe I've already been in the group almost a year. Wow. Yeah. Time is warped out for sure. No kidding.
They said I was quiet, I said I was listening. They gave me the rules, I burned them and didn't flinch.
We're just getting warmed up, you guys. Literally. The best is yet to come. You know what I'm saying? I know there's incredible things for all of you guys. I know, we go hard sometimes, Amanda. We go hard. All right, we got one more song in the queue here. All right. One more song here. This is our theme song here. 11:11. Let's go.
Eyes closed, but I see it clearer. Future speaking louder than the mirror. They printing dollars, I'm minting truth. Fiat's fading, I'm the living proof. Stacking vision in my vocal booth. Broadcast gold, I don't need a boost. Let the vision become vibration. It's manifestation. I feel the shift, I hold the station.
Yeah.
Let the vision become vibration. Steady breath, got no need to chase. I align, let the world rotate. Truth in motion, I don't complicate. I just show up, calibrate, create. Sat stacking while the system shakes. Legacy moves, no pump, no fake. Pulse on point, I don't fold or flinch. Vision locked in, I build, not break. Let the vision, let the vision, let the vision become vibration. It's manifestation. It's
Manifestation.
I feel the shift, I hold the station.
No, I didn't do a jam on this one yet, but I should.
Become vibration.
I think I will.
Steady breath, got no need to chase. I align,
Yeah?
let the world rotate.
Cool.
Truth in motion, I don't complicate. I just
This
show
is our
up,
theme
calibrate,
song for
create.
Rewire Live.
Sat stacking while the system shakes. Legacy moves, no pump, no fake. Pulse on point, I don't fold or flinch. Vision locked in, I build, not break. Let the vision, let the vision, let the vision become vibration.
Yeah, I got some ideas right now.
Manifestation. It's manifestation.
I might just do a music live.
Shift, I hold the station. Let the vision
Okay.
become vibration.
We got a soundtrack, guys. It's pretty cool, huh? You know anybody else who has their own soundtrack? Can we do videos to share it out, or because it's fire? Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah. I'll release it. And then like we can have hashtags, and we can start a little mission, a little project.
Let the vision, let the vision, let the vision become
It would be fun. That would be fire.
It's manifestation. It's manifestation.
You want that on your workout playlist? Okay, okay.
Let the vision.
That's the vibe for sure. It's high energy, huh? It's coming, you guys. I appreciate your support. All the boosties for sure. We start our own movement. Here's another version. Let me know what you think of this one. It's same song, different version.
Eyes closed, but I see it clearer. Future speaking louder than the mirror. They printing dollars, I'm minting truth. Fiat's fading, I'm the living proof. Stacking vision in my vocal booth. Broadcast gold, I don't need a boost. Let the vision, let the vision, let the vision become vibration. It's manifestation. It's manifestation. I feel the shift, I hold the station. Let the vision become vibration.
That's kind of sick.
Steady breath, got no need to chase. I align, let the world rotate.
They keep getting better.
Truth in motion, I don't complicate. I just show up, calibrate, create.
Amanda likes the first one.
System shakes. Legacy moves, no pump, no fake. Pulse on point, I don't fold or flinch. Vision locked in, I build, not break. Let the vision, let the vision, let the vision become vibration. It's manifestation. It's manifestation. I feel the shift, I hold the station. Let the vision become vibration.
Ooh, it's like little flute.
Steady breath, got no need to chase. I align, let the world rotate. Truth in motion, I don't complicate. I just show up, calibrate, create. Sat stacking while the system
It's a vibe.
shakes. Legacy moves, no pump, no fake.
Hold the
Pulse
station.
on point,
Yeah, I love that,
fold or
Chels.
flinch. Vision locked in, I build, not break. Let the vision, let the vision,
And let the vision become
let the
vibration.
vision become vibration. It's manifestation.
You heard it here.
It's manifestation. I feel the shift, I hold the station. Let the vision become vibration. steady breath, got no need to chase. I align, let the world rotate.
All right, you guys, we jamming. We got the vibes rocking high in here tonight. Thank you guys for being with me and helping expand consciousness, helping me with my mission to share the message of self-empowerment, help raise the frequency of the collective, and to eliminate the epidemic of unworthiness. It's time to reclaim, you guys. This is the great reclamation. Let's broadcast this signal so loud that they can't ignore us. You know what I'm saying? Let's freaking go, you guys. I'm going to release this album, and then we're going to broadcast it as a group. This is going to be amazing. Let's change some lives. Y'all have a great evening. Great rest of your Monday. Let's freaking go, y'all. You're welcome, Matt. Good seeing you again, brother. Yep, we got Coach Bones versus the Matrix tomorrow. We're going to be decoding the lies and the noise and cutting right through to the heart of the matter. You know how we do. 100. That's how I like to go out. Thanks, Chels. 100. Love it. See you guys.